started, by destroying your Riker Foundation, and by killing you. I'm sorry. I've lost my taste for Dune's scheming and for yours too. I need to find my own body. Once that's done, I'll gladly leave all of you alone. I wish I'd known my family better, but I believe you have saved my life, and I appreciate that. Robert, you saved me and welcomed me into a second family. You've given me far more than you've taken. Thank you. And overwhelmingly, the victor is number 4. Look, just give us her body. We'll get out of here. Leave us the fuck alone. We'll leave you the fuck alone. I just dropped something. And it hit one of my hard drives and made a noise. That's the Cartman choice. Riker nods. I'd hoped you'd share my view on these things. But if that's what you wish, I'll help you locate your body and then leave you to your own devices. You open your mouth to answer him, and then you close it again. A great tremor runs through the room. The desk and the monitors on the wall rattle, and the phone on the wall jiggles and falls off its hook. Your stomach lurches as the whole room tilts a few degrees to one side. And then a great crack runs across the ceiling. There's a moment of horrible silence, and then several tons of rock and earth come smashing down into the room. Alright, so this is the end. This is like the final scene we're coming up to here. Chapter 9. An Orphic soul aspires to freedom. Your head begins to clear. As the ceiling was collapsing, you had the presence of mind to jump back into the room's doorway. The precaution wasn't enough to prevent a large piece of rubble from striking you on the head, stunning you for several moments. You are buried up to your chest in rock and concrete. Parts of the ceiling above your head have opened, exposing access crawlways and even a natural cleft in the rock of the node. What is the node, after all? Maybe we're about to find out. Robert, are you there? You shout out. A long silence, and then his voice reaches you, barely audible, muffled by rock. I'm okay. A slab of concrete fell down against the wall, taking a lot of the impact. Killy Demise, you have to stop Dune. The node is a natural confluence of the psychic energy that exists in the world. I don't know how, but Dune has found a way to agitate that energy. If he releases it, or if he somehow gains control of it, you have to stop him, or a lot of people will die. Have you got enough air in there? You shout back at Riker. I'm hurt, but I can get... Then his voice drops too low for you to hear. You catch just one word. Hatch. Could he have some sort of escape hatch in there? It pays to be paranoid, it seems. Confident that Riker can take care of himself, you turn your attention to extricating yourself from the pile of rubble. The only problem is, you appear to be stuck. Just then, the lights in the corridor flicker and cut out completely. Utter darkness surrounds you. Can anyone hear me? You call out into the blackness. A little help? Anybody? Because the files were legit. I assume there was some way that they confirmed that the files were legit. But there's no response, and the rock all around you rumbles once more menacingly. But then, footsteps. You call out again, and a flashlight shines right in your face, blinding you. Killy Demise. You recognize Annika's voice. Seems like you need a hand. You raise a hand to shield your face. Just, if you're not too busy. Saved by Annika. Take that, Penda. Within a few minutes, she has helped you to struggle free. You scared the hell out of me, Killy Demise, she tells you. I didn't want to think you might be dead. For good. I'm sorry my life and death plight was so upsetting for you, you tell her. Now what's happening here? The node is in chaos, she tells you. People are saying William Dune brought some sort of entity here trapped inside his head. I don't know what. Maybe the disembodied essence of a powerful psychic? But somehow this is making the node self-destruct. Hell, maybe that was his intention all along. Everybody here is evacuating, heading up to the surface. What should we do? So Annika saved us. I think it's fair to say that Annika probably is not evil. Unless you're Penda, in which case she is. So, it's a good idea. Let's evacuate. Or Dune is dangerous as hell. We have to find him and stop him. Or Dune is dangerous as hell. We have to saunter away from him all casual-like so we don't look too scared. Or let's head for the computer suite. I want to see what security systems are still online. We are a good hacker, after all. Or we should make sure Chloe and Mariana Heckendorn are okay. Yep, we have one vote for everything but one. Oh, number 4 just got a flood of votes. Hack the planet! You find the computer suite deserted. Briefly glancing around, you guess that many of the more portable elements, laptops, hard drives, have been taken. Most of the node's power systems are offline. Are you looking for something in particular, asks Annika? I mean, is any of this of any use to you? Maybe, you answer. You quickly see that most of the security systems are beyond your ability to use, either trashed by the earthquake or dependent on hardware that has been removed. But you do see that a directional psychic white noise emitter mounted up on the island's surface is still working. A device similar in function to the booby trap you and Zev came across in London. You hastily switch its power source to reserve batteries and grab a remote control. Maybe it will come in handy. That done, you leave. As you step back into the long corridor, Annika suddenly shoves you in the chest, hard. At that same moment, from further up in the corridor, you see the muzzle flash of a pistol, and you feel a bullet rush past your face. It is only a second later that you register the sound of the gunshot, and the noise of the bullet ricocheting behind you. Annika's psychic combat sense has undoubtedly saved your life. So yeah, she just saved her life twice. I'm sure Penda still hates her. The shooter flicks on a flashlight and shines it down the corridor at you. Annika! Kill your demise! Excuse me, I didn't realize it was you. You're not wholly surprised to hear Emmanuel's voice, or rather to learn that Dune was the one shooting at you. You step out into the open, and you see at once that Dune is holding a gun to the head of Robert Riker. Riker is battered and bloody, sitting on the floor beside Dune. A hostage, William? asks Annika. A guide, says Dune. Then he aims his pistol at you and Annika. This is rude, I know, but I haven't been completely truthful with you. I have goals here I haven't told you about, and I'm certain you won't be interested in helping me achieve them. Our alliance ends here. It's a sad moment, I know. She is the reincarnation of Hitler, except worse. Okay, Killy Demise, we're going to take a little walk, begins Dune. Come here and... You aren't going anywhere because I'm going to stop you, says Annika. Kill Riker if you want. I'm pretty pissed at him anyway. Try and kill me too if you like. But if you think you can shoot me before I reach you, well, try. Green wine, says Dune. What? You'll remember Noah asked if you'd ever tasted green wine, says Dune. You just drunk a glass of wine, one that contained a tiny explosive device. At the time it was unarmed, not dangerous, and so it didn't set off your psychic sense when you consumed it. But if you come near me, I'll set it to blow with this. He holds up a small electronic gizmo about the size of a fingernail. Penda is William Dune. My God, it all makes sense now. Penda, how could you? How could you? How could you do this to us, Penda? You're horrible. I don't like you anymore. Anyway, he holds up a small electronic gizmo about the size of a fingernail. Riker's people are thorough, but they didn't find this. A bomb so small won't produce a dramatic bang, but it'll kill you for sure. Annika glances back at you, unsure, silently pleading for your opinion. So, do we tell Annika we think he's bluffing Annie? Anakin, apparently. Take him! He might be telling the truth, but you're fast enough to take him down before you can detonate the bomb, or maybe you should back off. He might be telling the truth. Yeah, just a heroic sacrifice in the line of duty. 2 and 3 right now are tied. 3 moving up. Moving on up. Looks like the Annika sympathizers win. Ooh, last minute tie. All right, we're going to have to do that again. Dramatic. I mean, Annika is the one who has a bomb inside her, not us. All right, number 2 with 5 votes. You might be telling the truth, but you're fast enough to take him down before you can detonate the bomb. Annika gives a slight nod, and then launches herself at Dune. And she is damn fast. But no human being in the world could traverse that corridor in the time it takes William Dune to press a tiny button. He detonates the bomb. You don't hear the tiny bomb explode. You simply see Annika convulse once, and then fall down. A string of drool spills from her mouth. And just like that, Annika is dead. Good job. The culmination of everything you wanted. Very happy for you, William Dune Penda. Jerk. You killed her. You bastard, you finally did it! You killed her! You don't move. You can't move. And then, Dune levels his pistol at your head. Pick up Annika's flashlight, and then help Riker walk. We need to cover a little distance. Now! Dune will kill you if you don't follow his instructions, you're sure of it. With an effort of will, you manage to do as he tells you. Yeah, but Kim is actually unlikable, is the thing. William Dune. Dune, I told Killy Demise, says Riker as you help him along the corridor. I told him that you're his father. Dune glances sideways at Riker, but says nothing. Then he holds up a hand, halting the 3 of you. The node, it's coming. The energy that's here. You really have bonded to it, haven't you, Riker? You can feel the danger you're in. It's coming to you to protect you or to rid itself of you for good. I don't understand, you say. Riker, what's happening here? This place, this node, is a natural focus point for much of the free-floating psychic energy present in the world. The time I've spent here working inside it, studying it, I have formed a connection to it. At its most basic level, it is an absolute barrier against hostile psychic powers. But it's so much more. Yeah, I should have moved away from the microphone more than that. That was my bad. This is how I find psychic children around the world. It's how I found you, Killy Demise. It's Cerebro. And I've managed to wake it, says Dune. Truly, absolutely. I brought a bottled psychic here, inside my head. I thought it would disrupt the electrical systems in this place, allow me to move freely. I guess it would even disrupt Racker's connection to the node's energy and allow me to kill him once and for all. But I've managed to do so much more. The energy is coming for us now. Slowly. We need only think. Do you feel it? It almost has a mind of its own. You allow your psychic senses to stretch out, but you feel nothing. All right, what do we do? This sure is a climactic situation going on right here. Yep, I am as good with a microphone as anything. Dune, is it true? Are you really my father? Why have you allowed me to live for so long? You could have had an opportunity to kill me in Norway. Riker told me that you're my father, but he didn't tell me about my mother. Who is she? Was it always your intention to let Riker capture you? Or nothing? And the winner is, yeah, they're kind of similar questions. Number 2. Why allow me to live for so long? You could have killed me earlier. Dune looks at you. Because once I really met you as an adult, I was curious. You are my child, even though the reasons for your conception were far from noble. Yes, my intention is to inhabit your body, to further my own life. Yet, is it so incredible I'd like to know you a little first? Oh, look at that. The maniacal supervillain has feelings. A light begins to radiate from the corridor walls all around you. You see a slender arc of electricity and then another drawing spidery lines across the imperfections in the wall's surface. It's here, says Dune as the light grows brighter. All the wild psychic energy in the world, unfettered at last, converging on us. And then, at last, you feel it. You feel your host's body swelling with its power. A hallucination. In truth, you do not change physically, but the power that pours into you makes you want to vomit, then stretch out and explode. Dune laughs madly. It's here! It's here! And then he raises his pistol and shoots Riker in the gut. Once, twice, 3 times. Really? I moved really far away from the microphone. All right. Too bad. I gotta figure this thing out. A brutal wound. Riker is not dead, but dying fast. And now, Dune aims his pistol at your head. But the radiance around you obliterates all detail, all vision. Perhaps he fires? You're no longer sure. You have a brief sensation of thousands of tons of stone brushing against your skin, seeming to weigh no more than dust. And then the world around you vanishes into white. You were supposed to be the intelligent one. You were my hope for this family. Jesus Christ, I've wasted enough of my own life. I won't let you waste yours. A large red-haired man bellows into your face. Your father. No, not your father. The father of Suzanne McCombs. Your host's memories are bleeding into your own. Odd. It's what I want to do, Dad. You can't stop me. The red-haired man swung his great meaty fist into your face. Into Suzanne's face, rather. Then, just go, he said, visibly close to tears. If you're going to piss everything away, just get away from me. I can't watch it. With some effort, you reassert your own identity, characteristics. Your killy demise, a metapsionic who wears a killer man's suit. You are not Suzanne McCombs. The world around you is limitless white void. Yet you feel you are not alone. Another presence is with you, is all around you, in fact. You feel it. Who are you? You call out. A pause, and then a response. Who are you? It booms, rattling your bones. Who are you? Who? I really want to know. Anyway. I'm Killy Demise, you answer somewhat in awe. What about you? I'm Killy Demise. No, I don't think you are. Silence, then. Time itself is mutable in this void you feel. Useless to try to determine whether that silence lasts moments or days. And then, another response. I am thought. I am the psychic energy of every sentient creature in this world, psychic and non-psychic alike. In this node that Robert Riker has found, that diffuse energy swims together, takes form. I am every person. I am Animus Mundi. I am. That is a good name. The node is aptly named, it seems. It is a point where the mental energy that courses freely through the world comes together, coalesces. And yet now, due to William Doone's interference, that node has taken on sentience, and it wishes to speak with you. An image of Robert Riker forms before you. He is as you saw him last. He has been shot 3 times in the gut. His bowels have suffered intense trauma, and he is bleeding out. He will die soon. Robert Riker has been master of this place a long time, says the voice from all around you. Node, you will call it for want of a better name. Now he is dying. He has mistreated you. He has taken you from your family, stolen your memories, and those of your mother. Will you let him die? I don't understand. Are you giving me the choice to save him? A silence, and then, it is in my power to save him, but I must learn. Teach me. Should I do so? All right, let's teach the little baby god about morality. Let him die. It's fair punishment for his actions. Let him die. He'll repeat his crimes if you don't. Save him. Yeah, let's save him. Because Killy Demise, despite the name, very good person at heart. Riker coughs and sucks in a deep breath. The blood covering his belly seems to evaporate as you watch. But then, before it is gone, he disappears. Another is in here with you, says Node. He seeks power, and yet the strength of his convictions has begun to falter. Will you be more steadfast? Who is it, you ask? Is it William Doone? You find it hard to believe that a psychopath like Doone could doubt the righteousness of his actions. Doone appears in the whiteness before you, but this vision of him is not clothed in his host body, Emmanuel. No, you see before you the real William Doone, the man you pulled out of the icy water all those years ago. This one has stolen your flesh, your blood, your sinew, thunders the voice of the Node. Without that, you will die days from now. I can grant you the power to pull the location of your body from his mind, but doing so will fracture his sanity. He will never again know a moment of peace, a moment without confusion and fear, non-existence. Death might be preferable to such a state. Is there no other way to find my body, you ask? Perhaps, but this is the surest way to know. What a moral dilemma. This image of Doone does not reflect the truth. I take no actions against him while he remains within his current host. You must force him out. Strip the knowledge from him. If he must break his mind to do so, that's an acceptable consequence. Break his mind, it's all he deserves for his actions. If that lets me find my body, so much the better. Break his mind. For killing Annika, he deserves nothing better. Finding my body is almost an afterthought. You hear that, Penda? You hear that? Yeah, that's right, Penda. Spare him. I won't be responsible for inflicting such torture, even if I risk losing my only choice to find my body. And the winner is... No one voted for 4. The winner is number 3. Your thoughts creep inside Doone's mind. Incredible. He was born near the beginning of the 20th century. Irish, he served in the First World War. And you see the battle, the blood, as if you were there. You cough as Dune's lungs are burned by chlorine gas. The death of his closest friends almost moves you to tears. And there, in the trenches of wartime Europe, he learns he is different. He learns he is a metapsionic, though the label itself won't exist for decades to come. But no, these memories are too remote. You must go no more than a few days back. You sift through his thoughts, his feelings, his fear even. Fear that Robert Riker will find a way to nullify Dune's greatest advantage, the borrowed psychic essence that remains coiled within his body. Fear that he himself will be unable to disrupt Robert Riker's connection to the psychic energies that flow about the node. Fear that he will be imprisoned indefinitely, or that he will die. As perhaps the oldest man in the world, he has come to prize his life very dearly. And then you see your own body. It lies in a private hospital in Paris, and the doctors and nurses who watch over it know nothing of its origins or of your real name. Dune had led you to believe he'd transferred the body to Norway, but of course, it would have been difficult to transport such cargo. You pull the address from Dune's mind. You will be able to find your way there easily, if you can escape the node. And then, emanating from the whiteness all around you, comes a terrible yell of anguish. Dune's mind is broken. He screams and screams and screams. You place your hands over your ears until the noise fades away. A long silence, and then the voice of the node speaks again. This body that you wear instead of your own, McCombs. Yeah? Your host's greatest wish. What is it? Do we remember? Do we know? What is our greatest wish? I know you can get him out of a manual. I don't know if this choice does it. I don't remember what I picked. And the winner is Suzanne wants more than anything for her family, and particularly her father, to accept her choices. We got an achievement! Yeah! Guiding light! Oh, yeah! You smile the moment the words have left your mouth. Suzanne's mouth, rather. You're certain you've answered correctly. Suzanne constantly second-guesses herself. Perhaps she should have listened to her father's insistence that she follow an academic path. Perhaps her parents' advice is right. Her father has mistreated her. One bout of sudden anger, of violence. Yet Suzanne does not hate him for this. Rather, she feels pity for the self-recrimination he no doubt now feels. And would you grant that acceptance, if it were in your power? Absolutely, you reply without hesitation. The voice of the node speaks no more about your host, and yet you feel a tremendous lightness of spirit come over you. And then the voice of the node speaks again. And you, what is your greatest wish? Oh boy, time to choose our ending. Ish thing. How many of these are there? Let's see. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I want to know my real family, and for my family to know me. Or, I just want to find my own body, and to survive. Or, I want to continue Riker's work. I want to make the world a better place for psychics. Or, I want power. Wealth wouldn't hurt either. Or, I want to tear down the node. No more psychics should be stolen from their families. Or, I want to restore Annika Visser to life. Can you do that? Or, I want to force Dune out of the body of Emmanuel Arnaud. I want to save him and fuck his brains out. Or, I have no driving wish. None that you can grant me, anyway. Yeah, that was a pretty obvious choice, but, big vote, anyway. Yeah, so someone voted 6. Someone wants Annika back. This I cannot do. I can break Dune's mind. Perhaps I can kill him, but I cannot force him to abandon his host against his wishes. The whiteness around you begins to ebb away. You are standing on the surface of the island that houses the node, and you have never seen the island so busy. A full-scale evacuation is in progress. One of the helicopters that brought you to the island is taking off, climbing unsteadily into the sky, overburdened with passengers. The other helicopter is not yet taken off. Its rotor blades beat the air as the psychics and staff of the node clamber aboard. And yet, there's not enough space for everybody. Elsewhere, you see Riker's people wheeling inflatable boats out of their hiding place, through the abandoned farm, dragging them down toward the cold water. And you see the casualties of the earthquake that Dune provoked. A triage area has been set up in the center of the island. The grievously wounded and the dying have been placed there, while overstretched medics do what they can to help. In some cases, it seems they've been able to do very little. Several corpses covered in sheets and blankets lie among the wounded. I'm just going to say, if it's anything like when I played it, then we will end up saving Emmanuel, so don't worry. Robert Riker is lying at your feet. You crouch down to examine him. The voice of the node allowed your wishes to shape reality, it seems. Riker appears unhurt. He's merely unconscious. Just then, the rock beneath your feet gives a great shudder, as though from some great underground explosion, maybe. Several of Riker's people scream in panic. Yeah, the option to turn to orange goo and become a single entity. They'll add that in a patch. Nobody has noticed you yet. You scan the crowd for familiar faces, and then you spot him. Dune, still clothed in the body of Emmanuel. He's far from the others, and he is suffering from your brutal intrusion into his mind. He drops to his knees, sobbing, screaming at something or somebody you cannot see. Enough. You will end this here. You begin to march toward him, but then, one last time, the voice of the node speaks to you, and from the way Dune suddenly inclines his head, you guess he hears it too. Killy demise. Robert Riker was the first who tried to seize control of the energy within this place, an energy that in time might permit almost godlike feats. But Riker was not a psychic. His mind was too unstructured. Then William Dune sought that power, but Dune lacked the will to control it. At the final step, his conviction that his actions were right faltered. He has been rejected. Will you now try to take this power? And if so, how will you use it? Throughout your recent ordeals, you've placed your own well-being above all other ends. Truthfully, you would use the power of the node to vastly enhance your own abilities. Empowered in such a way, you feel you could achieve almost anything you put your mind to. However, this would hardly be considered a noble aim. Alright, so what are we doing? I will use the power to decimate the node and the Riker Foundation as a whole. Robert Riker's abusive work must end. I will enhance my own psychic abilities. I will strive to become the most powerful psychic in the world. I will become master of the node and of the Riker Foundation. Riker's work to help psychics must continue. Screw your damn power. I don't want it. Is the choice. Screw your damn power. I don't want none. The node itself is a whirl of free-floating psychic energy attracted to this point in the world by a fluke of the planet's structure. Now that energy manifests, spins around you and pauses in contemplation almost. But you reject that energy. You are wary of a gift so great that it asks nothing in return. And quite simply, you do not want such awesome power. You feel the being of the node scrutinize you. Let it. You don't care how it judges you. and then at last it withdraws. The almost tangible psychic energies that surround you begin to dissipate. It takes only a few moments, and then the energy is gone. It does not disappear completely, rather. It is no longer focused on this place, and will not return here for many years. You feel a vague sense of unachieved potential, of an opportunity lost, but no. You're sure you made the right decision. Beneath your feet, the island continues to tear itself apart. It's time to leave. To stay in this place any longer is to risk your life. The latest distraction from the voice of the note has almost made you forget about Dune. You bound over to him now and grab him by the scruff of the neck. He looks into your face and screams in terror, perhaps not of you, but of imagined foes or ghouls. You have the information you need from him. You know where to find your own body. Now you need only force him to vacate Emmanuel. You are resolute he will not become another of Dune's victims.
No conviction, yells Dune suddenly. Killy demise the voice. It said my ideals and actions were not fluid, no harmonious. Do you want to know why?
A moment of lucidity, it seems. You decide to hear him out. Why?
When I didn't know you, not really. I wanted to kill you. The lure of immortality, you understand. And then, when I met you, I thought I'd wait. Just a little. I wanted to know my child. Just a little. And I waited and waited. And then the voice, the being in this place, told me what I should have realized by myself much sooner. I didn't want to kill my child. Any of my children anymore. I didn't want to kill you. Because you chose to save me, maybe. When I first came to this place, I don't know.
His eyes glaze over a moment. He looks over your shoulder at something, and then back at you.
You cost me everything, you fucker! He screams abruptly. My fucking love cost me everything!
The man is dangerously insane. You must find a way to force him out of Emmanuel's body. Yeah? Activate the node's psychic white noise emitters? Is that the thing we got from the computer room? I think that's the thing we got from the computer room. Good thing we went to the computer room, guys. That option is there for if you didn't find anything that would do it, then that's your only choice. And it's just still there when you have other choices too. You're glad you had the foresight to bring this little remote control doohickey along. You aim the control's targeting beam at Dune, take a couple of steps back, and switch it on. The white noise emitters are near the island's surface, a protection against unwanted psychics who arrive on the island. As such, they have remained undamaged by the artificially induced earthquake, and now they train on Dune and bombard him with a torrent of electrical energy and sound waves that closely mimic the energy produced by psychic activity. Hack the planet! Their intended effect against most psychics is to shut down any mental activity and, at higher levels, to knock somebody out. But their effect against a metapsionic, who in a sense exists solely as mental energy while within a host body, is devastating. They begin to rip Dune apart. Simply standing near him, you feel a small sliver of the torment he must be suffering as his consciousness begins to disintegrate.
Don't,
he says, and then he is gone. For good. Yay! And then, in his place, there is only Emmanuel. He seems disoriented, scared, and then he sees you and smiles.
Oh, God. Killy demise, he says. I'm so glad to be back.
He is wobbly. You place an arm around him to help take his weight. Then, as he sags against you, you speak to the open air. Goodbye, Dad, you say. Then you lead Emmanuel to the helicopter that's ready to lift off.
We did it!
You pass by Robert Riker. Still lying down dazed, the man has just regained consciousness. You offer him your hand. We're in the epilogue now, by the way. Everybody's getting out of here, Robert. Best if you come too. Yeah, I will. What? I don't understand. What's going on? Protocol 81, you say, searching your memory. Emergency evacuation. That seems to register with him. You help him up. The overburdened helicopter rises a meter into the air as you approach. Through the cockpit window, you witness a brief heated debate between the pilot and co-pilot as you draw near. Whichever of them is arguing in your favor apparently wins out. The helicopter touches down again, allowing you to clamber into the cramped passenger compartment. Then it begins to lift into the air once more, and as you rise skyward, you have a better vantage point on Riker's people strapping on life preservers and clambering onto inflatable dinghies, even fabricating makeshift rafts. Every living soul on the island is fleeing into the ocean or the sky, and you can only think with regret of those who haven't been able to flee, those who've been lost underground. From high in the sky, you watch as a great sinkhole appears in the middle of the island. The base, at the node, your home for much of your life, is destroyed. As the rock ruptures and cracks, ocean water spills onto the center of the island, erasing all trace of the heart of the Riker Foundation. Secrecy is our greatest asset. Robert Riker has spoken those words again and again. Now, the gray ocean water will preserve that secret forever. Epilogue! First, let's look at her stats. So, our deadliness is 30%. Hacking, 75. So, sociability, 60. Fairly sociable. Trick rate, 51. We are more tricky than we are not tricky. Psyche is still at 40. Empathy is 63. We are not very idealistic. We are very individualistic. Such an individual chat. We are more notorious than discreet, but only by 1%. And Suzanne McCombs, she's female. She's slim, red-haired, prominent freckles. 83% beautiful. She could have been a love interest. Why isn't she a love interest? Come on. Epilogue. You return to Paris some 48 hours after you'd left the node. Zev meets you at the entrance to the clinic where your body was being held. You'd called him as soon as you could, asking him to make the trip from London to ensure your body was safe. She is less beautiful than Emmanuel, it's true. He was in his own body, wheelchair and all, and you were glad about that. Your visit to London had made an impression on him, it seemed. Thanks to you, he'd regained the self-confidence he'd lost when Dune had injured him so badly. You made it, he said, smiling up at you. In one piece, just about, you answered. Tell me, Zev, everything I've done to get this far, did I do okay? He looked up at you, evaluating your espionage skills. We are a psychic field agent. We did really, really well, he said, beaming. I think the Riker Foundation has rarely seen a field agent with as much promise and skill as you. We did great. I told you guys, I did not get this. I got it was like, you did okay. I got like a meh. And now you stand before your own body. You are, alive, unhurt, hooked up to various medical devices that provide nourishment and monitor vital signs. Zev waits beside you. Go on, he says. You're home. You touch a couple of fingers to your body's forehead. The sensation of allowing your consciousness to transfer back into your own body is comforting, easy, safe. You are yourself once more. You open your eyes. Beautiful Suzanne McComb stands before you, a confused, slightly fearful expression on her fair features. Zev takes her by the arm. Suzanne, you should come with me. There are some things we need to discuss. To you, he says, I'll sort her out, and I'll catch up with you shortly, yeah? Yeah, my bladder too, actually. Wait, you say as they turn away from you. Suzanne, give your parents a call. They probably miss you a lot by now. I know you feel they disapprove of your choices, but in their place, I'd be damn proud of you. That must be so weird for her. She's like, what the fuck am I doing here? Why is this person telling me to call my parents? What? Huh? Suzanne swallows and nods. Okay, I will. Thanks. Your words have made an impact, it seems. Then Zev leads her away. You have a curious feeling that she'll come to remember the time you spent with her. You leave the clinic and walk the short distance to the banks of the Seine. Here's where you'd arranged to meet Emmanuel. He turns and sees you as you approach. So, he says, this is you. The real you. Pleased with what you see? You ask, feeling oddly anxious. A pause, and then he says, very, very much so. And with that, he dashes forward, puts his arms around you, and kisses you. I don't think we need to vote on this, chat. But you know what? Let's have one final vote. Yep. We'll kiss him. We're kissing him. Let's kiss him. Lover of a virtuoso. The two of you stay like that for a long time. Love? Perhaps. What will be, will be. As you stand beside that famous river, you consider the major events of the last few days. This is just look at your stuff, see what you did. We're a psychic field agent. We made an impact on our host. Annika is dead. We've ruined Emmanuel's career. We've romanced Emmanuel. Everyone needs some body. Everybody needs some body? Huh? Zev has come to terms with his loss. See other possible events and accomplishments. Let's just proceed to the end of the story because, quite frankly, I have to go to the bathroom. By chance, you have found a stretch of the Seine where the sun seems to dip into the water as it sets. Yet the imagery is not apt. One day ends, but there will be many, many more to come. You are alive, and this simple fact is like no other treasure in the world. You sit on some cold stone steps and tilt your head back to watch the stars come out. Life remains within both your body and your mind, and so the world remains a place of unlimited potential. You have a family out there somewhere, if you care to try to seek them out. And yet, just for a little while, you're happy to remain right where you are. We found it! Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, that was the Orpheus Ruse. Complete. Yes, play more games like this. Actually, we are going to play more games like this, and there will be one final poll right now. We have 3 options for what we are going to play next. Which will not be next week, but this will be the next game that we play. So, the first option is Neighborhood Necromancer, which is a book that's actually trying to be funny, and I think kind of gets there. It's not bad. You get to become a necromancer in your small town and lead a legion of zombies and other undead, and there's a vampire who crashes at your house. It's pretty cool. Yeah, we did a bit of that in our pre-stream. The next option is Choice of Romance. Now that sounds very tempting, but it's not quite as good as it sounds. It's set in alternate dimension Spain where magic exists, and it's about royal court drama. Yeah, it's earnest semi-romantic fantasy crap, basically. And you know, you can romance the queen and or other people in the court and get involved in politics and stuff. So that's Choice of Romance. And third option, I've not played this one all the way through. I just played the demo, so I played the first 3 chapters of this one. Annika's last name is Visser Limo. Is correct there? Yes, evil name. So the last choice is, I've heard this one is good. I didn't play through the whole thing. I liked what I did play. So this is Choice of Deathless. So this is set in a world where your amount of time left alive is money. So that's currency. So like you trade your own life power. So you could live forever by getting money, basically, or you could die by giving all your money away. So it's like the whole world is a corporation, basically. It's got a lot of corporation stuff and business world silliness. So let's leave that poll running. It's at 35 seconds right now, and I'm going to stop it when it gets to 2 minutes. So thank you all for coming. This was really fucking fun for me. I had a great time. As I said earlier, I've been recovering from a disease, condition for the past 4 years or so. And this has been amazing. I finally feel well enough to do something like this, and now I have. So it's great. I haven't really acted for so long, and it's something I love so much. So to be able to do this was fantastic. And you guys were great. So thank you for coming. Looks like Choice of Romance is leading. Neighborhood Necromancer is 2 votes. Choice of Romance 3. Choice of Deathless 1. Quake Run the host. Yeah, I love chewing scenery. That is me. Alright, we got 35 seconds remaining. Unless everyone has voted, let me count. It's 5, 6. No, it's only 6 votes. Anyone who didn't vote left? Should be 2 more votes. You've got 5 seconds left to put in your votes. 3, 2, 1, and end. And the winner is Choice of Romance. Neighborhood Necromancer and Choice of Deathless both coming with 2 votes. So, in a few weeks, I'm not sure exactly when, I'll figure it out, we will do Choice of Romance. And maybe we will mess around with Skype and see about having other people in for that. We'll see if that works. Probably do some kind of test thing. And if that's a good idea, then maybe we'll do that. But if not, then we'll do it the same way as this. And next Wednesday, I believe, Titan, tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe we are playing Mafia. And next Friday, yes, we will do some more Jackbox. I am leaning toward Drawful right now. We'll probably play Drawful. Okay, so Wednesday we have SGF Mafia, and Friday we will have Drawful. And tomorrow, Super Great Friend has something planned. I don't know what it is, but I gotta tell you, I'm excited to find out what he's doing for Valentine's Day. So, I'm sure I will see you all there. Have a good night, everyone. Thank you again for coming.